Welcome to At the RupeeTable, a D&D podcast brought to you by the Rupee Crew.
And posters.
Use promo code POSTERS at checkout for a free can of olives.
Welcome to the Rupee Table. I am your DM, Julianne. And at the table, we've got...
John, playing Yarrow Samuelson.
Amanda, playing Thurgy Demuth.
Steve as Frederick Noltide.
Chrissy, playing Benevolence Godsborn. Beryl, playing Weda Hakan Erlingstala and Wadwiges.
Graham, playing Phasmith the Mothkin.
Now let's get started.
Welcome, my heroes, to Baccaran. Despite the fact that you have come from all different corners of the world, Baccaran is a place that rings bells of all shapes and sizes. It is one of the oldest cities in Trieste, saddled on an isthmus between the Arlach and the Salach, which are two of the largest lakes in the region, only second to the Morlock. And it is known for its clusters of towers and the canals that connect the two locks to each other. The castle home to King Thassalark and his family is to the north, and in the south is the city's prestigious library. A place that, for a multitude of reasons, you are all here. You are here to seek knowledge of some kind, related to many different subjects, and over the course of the last couple of days, couple of months, couple of years, you have all arrived in Baccaran, and have spent various amounts of time in the city so far itself. It is a nice spring day. There's some big kind of poofy clouds in the sky. Definitely gave kind of a sprig of rain overnight in like bits and pieces over the city. The sun shines through, giving a little bit of hope and a little bit of promise to your goals and to what you are here to be seeking out. Just as the sun is sort of peeking over the city itself and slowly casting the shadows of the towers over the rest of the buildings, we find our heroes making their way to the library. The first of which, Amanda, would you like to tell us who we see approaching the square?
Sure. In strides a tall, easily 7 foot tall in flat shoes, young adult half-orc. She has waist-length, intricately braided mahogany-colored hair, held in place by a thin, relatively plain rose gold circlet. She has golden eyes that complement nicely with her skin, which is a rich bronzy green, kind of like copper that's just starting to get that, like, aged patina sort of look to it. In fact, her skin kind of shimmers, like polished metal a little bit. But if anyone gets close enough, you see that it's actually just body glitter and this realm's equivalent of tinted moisturizer. Her lips and nails are also an unnatural shade of pink than you would expect for a half-orc. She is wearing a dress. It would be a dress on a human-sized person, but on her it's more like a mini skirt of dyed pink leather and matching sheepskin boots. She's wearing Uggs. Strapped to her back, you can see that she is carrying a nice, shiny new shield and flail. Clearly, neither of them have been used very much. And as she walks into the square, she jingles just a little bit when she walks, because instead of gauntlets or bracers, she's just wearing layer upon layer of bangles of all types of metals.
Yes. So you walk into the square, and I think based on your experiences thus far, you are expecting this to be a very kind of smooth, no problems interaction, kind of in and out, or at least get into the library, find what you need, and move on. As you enter the courtyard, there's a crowd of people standing in front of the door to the inner library. You've come through the initial gate that comes into the courtyard where the housing, some of the study spaces, and other buildings that are associated with the library, but are not necessarily the library themselves. But you see there's just a crowd of people, a good number of them in these purple robes, that are standing in front of a large green door that seems to be kind of glowing, and the little flecks of color moving inside of it with some sort of magic. There seems to be a bit of commotion. All the folks are kind of like murmuring back and forth to each other, and you see that there is one person standing up closer to the door who is clearly addressing concerns of some of the other people. What do you do?
I go straight up to this person that appears to be in charge. And she says, excuse me, I need to get into the library. Please let me pass.
I'm really sorry, ma'am. We're not letting anybody into the library right now. There's a bit of an emergency situation. As you can see, there are plenty of people who are trying to get in, but are not going to get in. And they're clearly, like, directing their voice over the crowd of people, and you hear a couple like, oh, man, kind of fuck. And he turns back, looks at you, and just kind of gives you a really sorry... It's like, I think everything will be back under control in a couple of days, in which everybody will be allowed back in the library if you have admittance into the library. So if you wouldn't mind coming back in a few days.
But I don't have a few days. I am on a very important mission from Solcinder.
He gives you a look of, like, where?
Solcinder? You've heard of Solcinder, right? You know about Solcinder and... up north, next to the ridge?
I have not. I'm sorry, ma'am. Look, if you wouldn't mind just stepping aside for a second, and I can just give me 1 minute, please. And we can get all these other people sorted out, and I can tell them the same thing I've been telling them for the last 20 minutes. In one of the neighboring buildings that is in the courtyard just right outside of the library, 2 of our heroes are woken by the ruckus that is outside. Steve and Beryl, can you please describe your characters?
I am a human ranger. If you can imagine a man that is 40 years old, that's him. That's just him. Picture a man who's 40. It looks like he always has a little bit of touch of gray, like just for men touch of gray, just perfectly right there. Might also have a mustache, like the whole mutton chops mustache, no beard. That combo, yeah, you know.
Oh, God.
Currently in his pajamas, but I'm assuming quickly will be into his regular tunic attire.
In the apartment next to this man is an adolescent rock gnome, no higher than 3 feet tall, who is just at that age where losing that childhood ability to be a morning person and becoming a teenager, he is currently on his back, pulling on his boots, ready to start the day after this noise has awoken him. So he looks to be cresting teenagerhood, but he's in all kinds of brown, warm, dusty colors and brick reds. He's got a little bit of a darker skin tone. He's pulling a hat onto his head, very flat cap thing, over coal black curls that look like they've got a little bit of warm red on the ends where the sun has hit them. He has never seen a bottle of conditioner in his life. He's all about it. His eyes are that same kind of orangey, bricky color. And he's wearing the kind of complete mishmash of fashion as someone that is of the age is figuring their fashion sense out for the first time. He's got 1 knee pad, asymmetrical belt items. And as he's going out the door to wake his neighbor, he grabs what appears to be a very large, well-tinkered with blunderbuss with him, and behind him, skating along about 2 feet high and 4 feet long, is a mechanical shark, the kind of cone-shaped body with kind of interlocking pieces and a very Pac-Man mouth filled with sharp teeth. And it's just skating along. None of the pieces are moving, but it's just skimming along behind him, but occasionally it'll hit a little bump in the wooden floor and you hear a little think. And he runs down the hall and starts knocking on the door of the 40-year-old man, being like, Professor! Professor!
Oh yeah, I'm certainly asleep through all this. You are the first one awake on it.
Professor!
Behind the door. Yes, what is it?
Professor, I think they might be opening the library.
Just you hear lots of fumbling. Like it was not a restful sleep. It was not a very restful waking. Then just silence, and suddenly the door flings open. Waiter! My young lord, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Bright as sunshine as ever. What is it?
I think they're opening the library. They're making a lot of noise outside. And as he's saying this, he's reaching into his fantasy JanSport backpack and is pulling out one of the stalest muffins you've ever seen and is holding it up to you. I think we should go and see if they'll listen to the library today.
The muffin.
Watch you breakfast.
Thank you, waiter. Thank you. It's still better than the continental breakfast here. Oh god, that stuff. Ugh. Eggs do not need to be that dry. Ugh.
Didn't say they were chefs. They definitely are librarians.
Let us go. Just clothes are still askew. Maybe pants on backwards. Who knows? Who cares? Hair tousled everywhere. The mustache is just.
I'm sorry, what is the mustache like?
So just full Ghibli, like, straight pins in every direction.
Exactly.
To emphasize, neither of these people have ever seen a bottle of conditioner.
No, absolutely not.
They head on down to the library. This mechanical shark tinking down the stairs behind them.
He doesn't need just heads and shoulders. He needs head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
You see the same crowd of people outside, and actually you pass a couple of people on the way that seem kind of upset. There's a couple people trying to enjoy their continental breakfast, but just look upset for reasons other than the eggs being very dry. And yeah, as you step outside, you see that crowd, and you see the very tall half-orc woman, just kind of the back of her, like, the red hair, standing above everybody else and standing even above the guard. And you see him sort of shouting over her shoulder, addressing the crowd.
Wait, it sounds like they're not letting people into the library. This is problematic.
Aww.
What, you said that it was a few days? DM, sorry, I'm asking the DM. They said it was a few days?
Yes, you heard that it might be a few days before they let people in again.
Ah, I see. So I kind of grabbed my young ward and just, my hand is a little bit bigger than your hand, so I mostly just grab the whole wrist and just pull you through the crowd, shimmy the way, because they're not going away anytime soon, this whole crowd. Like, they don't care.
The crowd is, like, slowly starting to disperse. There's clearly a group of people that are like, no, I want to get in. You see that the half-orc woman is one of those people. But there are a couple that are mumbling. It's like, it's just the roof. It can't be that bad. Like, it's only just been a couple of hours. Like, had it really done that much damage yet? Jesus.
If I were to look at the roof, what would I see?
When you look at the roof, you turn your eyes to the sky and to the towers that are sort of exploding up out of the library, and you immediately hear this horrible, just harsh crunching noise coming from up on the roofs. And you see one of these little creatures that probably, like, no bigger than a squirrel, but much more goat-shaped, and having these little horns that kind of, like, curl all the way back, hair that kind of, like, goes down in front of their eyeballs. And you watch as one of them just, like, unhinges its jaw, clamps into the roof, and just pulls off some of the roof tiles, and just starts, like, chomp, 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 chomping away. And as you see that one, you spot another one over there, another one over there, another one over, and they are just, there's another one over there. Oh my god, there are so many of these things that you lose count of them very quickly.
That's great. I just need a moment to, like, process this emotionally. I, as the professor, just sit there and just, right. What the fuck?
You just
sorry,
feel
wait,
your
no.
grant money slipping away.
Oh no, Professor, if they spread out, then they'll get on the roof of our apartment.
And we just redecorated.
No.
Oh, God. Do I recognize these creatures in any way, shape, or form?
Roll, would that be perception, I guess?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or I
It's
guess
gonna be a knowledge.
animal, nature?
Nature.
Yeah, do a
Not
nature.
to backseat DM.
No,
just like my
do
thoughts.
nature. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, no, that's a 20.
Okay.
That's a nat 20. I
Okay,
looked at it
excellent.
wrong. I looked at the wrong facet of that die.
Oh,
Nice.
That college
So that's
degree is working for him.
Whoo, boy, that's a 21.
So in all of the research, between all of the research that you have done on, like, all of the critters and creatures in these areas of, like, just trying to find something interesting to write this goddamn dissertation about, and also the times that you have come to Baccaran in the past, you would recognize these creatures as goers. And they are these pesky little buggers that are, they're just pests. But unchecked, they like to completely remove roofs, free of charge, and cause problems. You would know that they are usually kept in check by cricks, which are these giant raven-like birds that have like a 10-foot wingspan and just usually fly along and pluck them right off the roofs. But as you look around, you don't see any cricks at all.
Wait, do you see? Do you see these things? The goers on the roof.
Yeah, I was worried about our apartment.
Yeah.
What?
But why are they here? Usually the cricks take care of them.
What do we do? Can we send... Maybe Rodriguez can go scare them off or something. And he pats the shark next to him.
Can Rodriguez fly?
Well, not yet. I'm still working on it.
Sometimes you scare me, my young ward. Sometimes you scare me.
Pats Rodriguez.
He's just a weapon there. Oh my god.
It's okay, Rodriguez. He's just scared of your true power.
So I'm assuming we're...
I found my OTP for this.
So I'm assuming I'm sorry, wait, I'm dragging you along to our friend. Does our friend have a name at this?
The guard?
Yes.
Let me double check.
This intermission brought to you by Posters at Crown Heights. Use promo code POSTERS.
We got movie posters. We got old magazine cover posters. You like the Saturday Evening Post? You bet we have those posters.
You would know that this is Callan. He's like the head of security. Usually there's some of like his other guards and his subordinates that are out like taking care of the entrance fee and just entrance process and everything.
I'm sorry, there's an entrance fee to this library? Isn't the library supposed to be free?
It's a very special library, Steve.
Fun fact about libraries. Not all libraries are free. There are admission-based libraries.
Sounds like a whole lot of bullshit.
It's a recommended donation.
That's fair.
Well, unfortunately, this one is not nearly so recommended. But you would know, Frederick, because you have been here for a while already. I believe, as we discussed, you have entrance to the library already.
Oh, I'm a very special guest. I'm a very important VIP.
Correct. The most important. So yes, so you'd see Callan right up at the front, clearly just trying to kind of stave other people off and convince them that their time is better spent elsewhere rather than trying to convince him to let them in right now.
I see. So I'm assuming I'm dragging you along. Wait,
To the front of the line.
Yeah, sure. Just yeet you up by your backpack and drag you along. I'm guessing Waydall's just trailing along too. I'm sorry, Waydall. Rodriguez is trailing along too.
Oh yes, Rodriguez remains on the ground.
I'm not picking him up. I'm a little afraid.
Wait, I'm just taking notes on these creatures as they're walking.
Callan, hello. Good morning. Or good afternoon. I hope it's good morning.
He, looks up at the sky and he's like, I would be real concerned if it was the afternoon right now. I mean, it feels like the afternoon. I've been up for way too long. Morning, Professor. Can I help you?
Yes. I noticed you have a interesting Goer issue. Has this been going on for a few days? We just got back.
Yeah, they showed up last night after the storm and have just been wreaking havoc on absolutely everything up there. So we are trying to get the situation under control. Between you and me, it's not really going that well right now, but we're working on it. I think they have some group of folks coming or something like that to fix it, but I really don't know what the situation is. It's all been such an absolute clusterfuck of a whirlwind.
What kind of group are you waiting for this? To take care of the cricks are you waiting for?
No, God, I mean, we haven't seen any cricks around. They've been gone for like a couple of days. You notice they haven't been around.
We've been out of town for a little bit, so we just got back in last night.
No, I don't know what the hell has been going on. I haven't seen any in a couple of days, which is weird because they're usually all over the damn place. No, I think Varel sent off for somebody or like something from the king just because this is so freaking urgent that we get this sorted out.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I'm I'm a bit of a zoologist myself. I have a couple, 3 or 4 degrees on this topic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you know, you're the animal guy.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
you see me on,
that's right. I remember
on the posters.
now. Yeah, on the posters. All those great, those posters that kid puts up. You do such good drawings of him. Like, they're really good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I look really hot on him.
They really capture the generic 40-year-old look.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I love it so much. I'm so featureless.
Well, if you like them so much, Callan, and he reaches down and pulls one out of Ludwig's mouth and hands it to Callan.
And he kind of like leans down and picks it up, and he's like, that's mighty sweet of you, Wade. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Just kind of whisper to Wade, why is everything that coming out of Rodriguez's mouth so oily? Why is there like goop coming off that poster?
I'm still working on the lubrication.
He like kind of shakes the paper to get a little bit of the extra goop off and kind of like flicks onto the ground.
The crayon is like melting. Yes, you see me. You know what I can do. Maybe I can, if you let me inside, I could possibly do something about this.
We could scare them away.
Give me a persuasion roll. And either both of you give me a persuasion roll, or one of you do it with advantage. And I'll say, Frederick, do it with advantage. Okay. If Wade wants to help.
Yeah.
Cool, because I'm not good at persuasion. Whew, no, that is not good persuasion. Let's try again. That's a little bit better. That's a 13.
Look, I'm gonna have to get permission from somebody up higher to let you in, because this is... I can't just let you in, my dude. I'm real sorry. So give me a few minutes to get this crowd under control, and then I'll see what I can do for you. All right.
It'll give you time to eat your muffin.
As Wade pulls the muffin back out.
Why is it so oily?
Oh, sorry. And he wipes his hand on his pants.
So we pan back to the gate into the courtyard. John, would you like to describe your character as they come through the gates?
Certainly. Striding into the square with a confident gait is a massive dragonborn. He stands about 6'7", with a broad chest and shoulders, and a tail that trails about 3 feet behind him. He's wearing a dyed green leather single-shoulder shirt and brown woolen pants that end at his knees. His skin is covered in silver scales that have a slight iridescence to them in the bright daylight. His face is decisively more lizard than human, with a starkly square snout curled in a slight smirk that hints at dozens of razor-sharp teeth. His head is covered in fine white feathers that are not much thicker than a human hair and fall just below his shoulders and wave gently as he walks. Above his ear holes are sets of 3 thin horns, one long, one medium, one short, that flexes as he takes in the sounds of the square. Slung across his back is a steel battle axe and an ornately carved round wooden shield. Clutched in his claws with surprising gentleness is a beautiful wooden balalaika with a stark, dark sunburst pattern, on which he is picking out a quiet tune as he walks. He surveys the square, and his eyes fall on the extremely tall half-orc across the distance at the foot of the library. And a close observer would notice his smirk diminish slightly as he adjusts his posture to stand just a little taller.
So you see exactly the same thing that I have described thus far. And like you've been here before, and you remember your last attempt to enter the library. Like, this courtyard was much clearer. There were people that were kind of milling about and going between each of the buildings and just kind of going about their business, coming in and out of the inner library. But this is different. This is unexpected. And like I said, the crowd is like starting to thin out a little bit. Obviously, you spotted the half-orc, and you would also probably notice with your height 2 others that stand out a little bit more from the crowd. Well, one other that stands out a little bit from the crowd. I think you might be would not see the shorter of the entourage.
I assume I also do not see the shark.
No, correct. You would not see the shark.
All right. So I stride right up to the library gate, fish out an ancient book with a wooden cover from my backpack, and say, "Hey, where's the lady who wouldn't let me in last time? I got her thing."
The lady who
I was here last year. She told me that I couldn't get in.
Yeah, no, she's on maternity leave, so well, I
Okay.
mean, you don't have to deal with her at least, because I know she's kind of like a problem sometimes. Oh my, and he stops and like his eyes as soon as they gravitate towards the book as soon as he kind of catches it in his glance, and you can like almost see the stars kind of sparkling in his eyes. And he said, "Whoa, where? That is magnificent. Where is that from?"
Oh, this is mine. It's from my hometown. I figured that we're pretty isolated all the way up in the north by the tundras. I don't know if you've ever heard of Fonfjell.
Maybe it sounds familiar. I'm sorry. I'm not.
I mean, it's
really
quite.
sure.
It's about a month and a
Yeah.
half walk. Yeah.
Oh god, that's far, dude. Look, I would really love to take that from you, and I can, but we're not. If you come back in a couple of days, it should be sorted out, and then you can come peruse at your leisure, sir.
Well, that's just annoying. Okay.
You're fucking telling me.
So, he takes a look around, and his eyes kind of fall on the shark that's just sitting there, and he notices it's moving. He leans over to our 40-year-old man. What is this?
Sir, don't mind that. Don't worry about it. Wait up.
What?
Why is Rodriguez still here?
Not doing anything?
Can he go back to his little condensed form a little bit?
No, I told you, this is
No,
his size now.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. What is it?
Oh, it's a brilliant invention from our laboratory.
Oh, so you a kind of scientist or something?
Yes, sure, yes. We're engineers.
Oh, do you know how to get past this guy into the library? I brought the book. They still won't let me in. It's ridiculous.
As I told you, I can't let you in right now. We've got a problem with the roofs that needs to be fixed, and we're waiting on the people to show up.
I can fix the problem if it will get me inside.
Do you even know what the problem is?
I assume I do. Does it have anything to do with the stuff you see on the roof?
Of course it has to do with what's on the roof.
I can fix this.
How?
As he's doing that, Wada kicks Rodriguez slightly and leans down and whispers something, and Rodriguez starts skating off into the library. And Wada goes, "Oh no, Rodriguez, don't do that! Now we have to come after you!"
Okay, I can solve this problem because I can definitely wrestle that thing.
What happens, though, it is... Jesus.
Wada starts walking after Rodriguez.
Well, here's the problem. You can't do that because it is a solid door. It is not just an opening for Rodriguez to go through. I do still imagine that Wada tries, because like it looks a little like you might be able to like stick your fingers through it, the way that the magic kind of moves around in the door. But you whisper to Rodriguez. Rodriguez shoots forward and just ka-dink against the side of the door. And Callan turns and was like, what the don't put a chip in the fucking door. Can you get this kid under control, please?
It's a very pointy shark. Let's be real here. It's a very pointy shark.
Yeah, I know, and I don't want it chipping my door. Would you guys mind just taking this conversation? Look, I will get you guys in. I just can't do it right now. So if you wouldn't mind, so I can redirect these other people elsewhere, since you guys know the drill, can you please go, like, stand, and gesturing at all four of you, can you please just go, like, stand off to the side for a minute?
Okay, I know, I understand you're kind of hassled right now. I come from the mountains. I can climb up there and clear those things out in like half an afternoon for you.
Sir, can you just please step off to the side and we can talk about this in a moment?
I'm going to attempt to force the issue a little bit here with some intimidation.
Okay.
Sir, I insist you at least let me attempt to clean these out so I can get inside. This is the second time I've been denied in 2 years, and I'm not standing for this. Dirty 20.
You see him shrink a little bit as I assume you kind of like stand forward and are looking even like impossibly taller. He shrinks down and is like, "Look, sir, I appreciate your offer, and I'm willing to take you up on your offer, but I really need the rest of this crowd to clear, because if I let you guys in and not them in, it's gonna be a whole fucking mess. So please, if you could just stand off to the side and give me a couple minutes to get this sorted."
I can clear the crowd for you if you really need it.
Persuasion.
All right.
I was going to say roll for initiative.
To find a bunch of college
That
students.
is a 7.
Ooh.
Look, I really appreciate the offer. Again, you do whatever you're gonna do, whatever you want to do. Just please, just so long as it is over there. And he points over to like the where kind of the studies are, which is away from the crowd.
All right, so I just throw up my hands and kind of stomp off a little bit, park myself probably about 15 feet away, and just kind of stare him down.
And he keeps like every once in a while he'll like look over and give you this side glance of just like, and like the shoulders dropping and like, God fucking damn it, not a god damn.
Frederick likes that this man took initiative and also wants to get into the library, and might also, just if we kind of combine our efforts, might be the best chance we have of getting in today. Because research does not wait.
Well, he knows all 3 of us, so how are we going to convince...
I mean, he just really wants the crowd gone, right? How many people are left in this crowd?
30, 40 people.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. A lot of people for the library in the morning. What nerds.
No, that sounds about right.
Well, it's also, like, as you've gathered, it is the folks that are also normally in the library, the scribes and just the folks that work there. Like, they are not even in the library right now.
That's fair. Okay.
And they're a little pissed about not being able to be in there, understandably.
Nerds.
So, while you are all gathering, another challenger enters the ring.
All right, so coming from the studies angle, yes?
You're coming from the entrance.
The entrance.
There's the library itself. Then there is another courtyard that's kind of around the library.
Okay.
That's where the studies are, the dining hall with terrible food is, and other kind of like other buildings that are associated with the library that aren't the library.
Mm-hmm.
So they are inside that courtyard, and that is the space that you are entering into.
Okay.
Go.
So, from across the courtyard is a generally tall, lanky figure, about 6 feet high, but is just a bit crouched over at all times, bringing him down a half foot. He is covered in fuzzy fur on most of his body, though it narrows rapidly down on his arms, letting most of his insect-like joints and chitons show towards his 3-fingered hands, which have a rougher set of spurs around the hands and ankles of his forearms and 2 digitigrade legs. The hair on his head is practically flared out to the sides due to his hat and scarves. Most of his outfit is fabric and leather gear in black. His fur is segmented in grayish browns, blacks, and tapers off into yellows, a la Mothra. His eyes, however, are a vivid red and surrounded by a black mask-like mark that dips down towards his mouth. He has large brown antennae above each eye that he keeps poking through his wide-brimmed wizard hat that almost resembles feathers. He is swathed in scarves around his neck of a couple different dark but autumnal colors, and are so up high that his eyes are practically slits peeking out from the brim of his hat and the scarves. His wings are partially hidden behind a short cape, and some semblance of red-eye markings can be seen on the wings. He has a bunch of gear spread across him. In particular, a pack of lighter gear is kept in a backpack that he keeps beneath his wings, with his sword hangs on a belt, and his shield hangs from a strap around his neck so he can swing it away. A crisscross of belts for his lantern on one hip, and a side satchel with a long cylinder on his other, from which he withdraws a wooden tripod, which he begins setting up in the courtyard, and as well as a small wooden box that he places atop it, fastens down, and pops open an accordion-like structure with several brass pieces on it, and begins winding up a crank on the side.
As you start doing so, you feel this you feel like discontent kind of in your chest. Like this isn't right.
I look at the roof of the building going, the roof's all wrong. The roof's all wrong. It is. I don't know what happened to that roof, but that is, yeah, it's all wrong. Can't do it. Okay, we'll have to do this another time. I'll just for now, and I'm gonna do a little light cantrip flash with one hand and tap the trigger on the top of it to take a picture.
Okay. Excellent. So yeah, you do that, and I think the rest of you, as you're all standing, you see this bright flash of light, and your attention is drawn to this figure that is standing farther back from the crowd, directly behind this contraption, patiently waiting for something.
I lean in to the professor here. I think we might have found our exterminator.
What makes you say that?
Well, I don't know what the hell that thing is, but it looks like an exterminator thing.
Oh, I wouldn't want to stand on the opposite side of that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, and I've
No,
quite
you're
well traveled.
supposed to stand on the other side of it.
Yeah, if we want to get zapped.
Sorry, DM, do we understand what the heck this is?
Oh, well, no.
Cool.
It's gonna make you roll for it, but I'm gonna executive no on that one.
We're dumb as rocks.
You're not dumb as rocks. You have just never seen a contraption like this before in your life.
That's flattering. I'm dumb as rocks.
Well, no, just, I mean, with all of, like, the studying that you've been doing, it might look like a piece of, like, field equipment that you've seen, but there's just, like, something about it. The box is too big at the top, and, like, the cylinder that's out the front is a little weird that, like, you can't, like, look through the other side to, like... Is it a telescope on a box? Is it just, like, why is it off the ground so high when you can just, like, hold it and look through it? Like...
Wait, do you recognize this thing? You're good with technology.
I don't know. I think it's a telescope.
Well, if none of us know what it is, Door Guy definitely doesn't. So I say we go enlist this character here and see if he can get us inside.
Ooh, I like the way this guy thinks. Are you looking for a postdoc by any chance?
No, I'm terrible in school. You can ask anyone from my village.
Education doesn't matter.
Lena's already walking.
Actually, you definitely can tell my father that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to enlist our new friend here. So you're wearing this, like, overcoat. You're kind of, like, hiding all of your features?
You see him just plastered to the back of the camera with most of his, like, hat brim and scarf surrounding the back of it, like he's trying to keep the image intact, which you wouldn't really know about yet, but he's, like, kind of just face first in it, and he's leaning back a little more, going, like, fussing around, like, no, it's not right, not right.
Excuse me, my fine fellow.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, hi, yes, hello. Good morning. It's still morning, right? Morning, good morning.
I'm aware it's morning.
Yes, I'm aware too. Can you tell me about what this exactly contraption is? I'm very interested as a researcher. Leans in with, like, a leading eye, like, hi.
Ugh.
Just very looking over the contraption.
Well, I believe it's called a camera.
Camera, interesting. What does it do?
Well, I'm gonna hold out from within the cylinder. I'm going to withdraw a picture to hand to Frederick.
Oh, it captures the souls of the beings.
I'm pretty sure that's what it actually does. Yes.
Interesting.
Does it kill them?
I'm working on that.
Can I see? I want to see.
Yes, here you go, Waiter.
Oh my gosh, this looks just like the library.
Except it's not... It looks exactly like the library, but, like, it's kind of grainy and a little out of focus. You can see, like, the shapes of the towers kind of against the sky, and, like, the colors are, like, little blurs that kind of break up the straight lines of the building.
So the half-orc perked up at the sound of the word picture and very quickly ran over and then overheard the exchange of capturing souls and trying to kill them and then took half a step back. But then just looks at this cloaked figure and where this contraption is pointing and just goes, if you're trying to capture souls, why are you pointing it at a building? Is it haunted?
I'm not going to point it at people if it does that, but it hasn't done that yet, I think.
You feel that discontentment, a little rumble in your chest.
I start packing it up.
Whoa, hold up.
No,
We don't mean to scare you. We want to enlist your help. See, all of us have reason to get in there. And this guy, at the door, is It's not letting us in until an exterminator shows up.
Well, that's very unfortunate. I wish you luck on that,
But-
maybe. But
Want to try and get to capture pictures inside the library?
I would like that. But I'm being patient for once. It's very aggravating, though.
That sounds boring.
Waydot starts
It's
walking
very-
off with the picture.
Yeah, look, I'm just as irritated with you. This is the second time. It's taken me a year to get here and they still won't let me in. What if you pretend to be the exterminator with your contraption here that sucks the souls out of these roof monster whatever thingies, and that gets us inside?
I mean, I do want to get in. I guess we can try. Sure. I look at the camera a little bit again, and I kind of like detach it from the tripod, and I put the tripod away, and keep the camera out in front of me to kind of bring over, with my 4 arms kind of wrapped around it a little to keep it steady. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I dodge the front of it as he's swinging it around.
Yeah, we all kind of do like a ducking motion underneath.
It's not that big, but it's yeah.
The half-orc notices the very nice fabric on the back end and flips it over the lens on the front end of the contraption.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I kind of look over and I'm going to say something like, oh, good idea, but I kind of like... Good call. That'll block it from sucking out our souls.
Thanks. I thought it was a good idea. Yeah. Prudent.
So as you're seeing this group do the limbo, do the invisible limbo, as this device is swung around, Chrissy, would you like to describe your character already having woken from where they're staying, and having made their way to the courtyard now that they are probably slept in a little bit more than they intended, but you know.
Entering the courtyard is a young tiefling woman, about 5'5", with ruddy brown skin, dressed in what might have been a crisp, ruffled blouse at one point, but it looks as though it may have gotten damp. There's a couple of mud stains around the cuffs, and a long blue and white tartan skirt, which also seems to be sporting some mud splotches. Just generally looking as though it's been slept in, walked in, and not freshly ironed or laundered, shall we say. A pair of ram's horns curl back from her forehead and behind her ears, framed by her brown hair, which is cut into a bob that might be fluffy sometimes, but is currently a little on the damp and unkempt side. Might be a twig or two sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Her eyes are a striking silver, without a visible sclera or pupil. They are just pure silver the whole way around. She looks exhausted. There are some notable dark circles under this tiefling's eyes. But despite, the clear exhaustion in her face and the tiredness in her frame, she does seem to perk up a little bit, finally getting close to this library, and then sees the line and sees the door shut and wilts a little bit.
Because you see the crowd of people, the guard kind of directing people away. It's slowly thinning out a little bit more. There's not as many people there as there were before. But you also see this gaggle of folks standing off to the side, all doing that, swoop as one of them swings a contraption around. This tall orc woman pulls the fabric over the front of it.
Yeah, she gives that group a wide berth and decides instead to approach the guard.
Mm-hmm. So you get up to the guard, and just he immediately goes into clearly just this automatic I'm really sorry, nobody can get in right now. Please come back in a few days.
I don't have a few days. I can't.
Look, miss, I'm really sorry. Sir, no, nobody can get into the library right now. And he is just kind of talking over the top of your head at these other people who are also insisting on trying to get in.
But he's the exterminator, Callan.
Huh?
The exterminator.
Hi. How are you? I am the devil's cameraman, and I'm here to exterminate.
The goers, not people. Don't worry about that. He'll suck out the souls of the goers. Do goers have souls? They do. I'm an expert on this.
And we are here to show him how to get to the roof.
He brings his hand up to the bridge of his nose, and he looks at you.
Hello.
And, what is that? That's the. What does that do?
Well,
Sir,
I would show you, but it would not end well.
Okay, all right. And he sticks his hand in his pocket, pulls out a small stone, turns around to face the wall. Please get someone to let these people in. Just the exterminator, and just get someone to verify. Veril, if you're listening, can you please just get the fuck down here? And turns back and just puts this, like, polite but just tired as fuck smile on his face. And he's like, can y'all please wait off to the side? Someone will be down in a moment to let you in.
The way just drops his arms to his side, still holding the picture, by the way, and slobs off, just stomping angrily off to the side of the door.
It's okay, Wado, we're almost there. Just kind of like giddily kind of grabs his new friends of a Dragonborn and a and a half-orc, and just kind of like, we're almost there, guys. We're gonna get inside. Just pulls us off to the side.
The half-orc very deftly just removes herself from the touch of this strange man.
Whereas the Dragonborn just slaps his hand across the shoulder and is like, new friend. Oh, yes. By the way, you seemed a little dejected. We're getting inside. You want to join us?
Yes.
Yeah, come on in.
I also kind of
You
look
look
at...
cool.
Okay.
By the way, I like what you're doing up here. With the horns. Very cool.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Are you a student?
Sort of.
Oh, okay. We're sort of students too.
Okay.
I'm Wada.
Hold his hand out.
I'm
Up.
Ben.
Ben! Nice to meet you.
Call me Ben.
This is what we get.
Jaws creaking.
Oh.
He's probably finally.
Tink.
And Ben just kind of rubs at her eyes a little bit, trying to figure out if she's hallucinating from lack of sleep.
This is Professor Frederick.
Hello, yes, I'm Professor Frederick Noltide. I'm on my sabbatical here at the University of Baccaran, and I don't recognize you from any of the courses.
I'm something of an independent learner.
That's fair. Organized education isn't for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Just kind of looks over at our new Dragonborn friend, who also has some agreements about education.
No education is good for me, thank you. So, this isn't decorative. This is all you.
Yes. They're part of my body.
I just kind of stare. I'm like, whoa.
Yes, I can say as a zoologist and paleontologist, and yes, we are all animals. That is natural.
What? Yeah, sure.
Anyway, my name is Yarrow. I don't believe I've introduced myself, and that is bad manners on my part. I'm an entertainer.
Hi, Owlo.
Hello, Yarrow.
You there,
Yeah.
exterminator man.
Yeah. Yes? Me.
What do we call you?
I'm called Phasmith.
Phasmith. What region's that name from?
Up north.
Oh, no way. I'm from Fonville.
Cool.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've heard of Fanta.
Okay. Have you ever been there? No, I would have remembered that.
No, I heard about it from some friends.
You, tall one. What do we call you?
You can call me Thurgy.
Okay, Thurgy.
Thurgy from Solcinder.
Soul
Please
Cinder.
tell me some of you have heard about this, because
Soul
that guard doesn't
Cinder.
know where it is.
I was there a few years ago. I entertained at one of your taverns.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
I hope you liked
lovely
it.
little place, yeah.
Wonderful.
What is it? Where are you a student too?
Sort of. Yeah,
Ah.
sort of.
Well, winks
I'm
at you.
I'm here to learn things. Yes.
Oh, okay. Us too.
That's why I'm here.
And that's why we're all getting in the library. By the way, doorman. We have our exterminator. I have some very urgent business to get to. I brought the thing that you demanded last time, and you still won't let me in. Let's go. Come on. What's going on?
As you turn back to Callan, you see that there is another person standing with them that they were actually in mid-conversation with. And as you start speaking over them, they both turn towards you. Callan with just this look on his face like, I'm clocking out early today. Fuck this noise. And a shorter elven person that has like dark tanned skin, a very short haircut, like sun-bleached hair. They are wearing some of the same like purple robes, but a little bit more of like a higher ranking than of most of the folks that are kind of out and about in the square right now. They turn towards you, Yarrow, and kind of clock you real quick. But then their eyes move over the rest of the group, and they look back to Callan. It's like, why didn't you tell me they were here? Oh my god, we could have solved this problem so much longer ago. It was like, I don't know, who was here? Who was supposed to be here? The people that the king sent, Callan. Oh my god, I didn't fucking know, okay? And this person comes back, the elf comes over to you and just like, please, if I can escort you all in, the faster we can get in, the better. Please, this way.
Waydog sticks his tongue out at Callan as they walk past.
You see, just rolls his eyes, and he gives a look to you like, couldn't have just told me in the fucking first place, dude, come on.
Have a good night, morning, night, day.
Shut the fuck up!
Ben just follows kind of uncertainly at the rear, confused by everything that has just happened.
So you follow this person as they take you through the gate into the inner library. And of course, I believe it was to Waydog's instinct, this door does not actually open, but it sort of dematerializes, and you are able to pass through it. Once this person gives a particular signal, casts a particular spell, the 6 of you are allowed to follow in behind them. Very quickly, you can hear there are a couple other people that try to tail in behind you and are very quickly cut off, and it's just kind of like the thunk against the walls, like, oh god damn it, it's like, no, I told you guys, you can't get in yet, go the fuck home! But you walk in, and welcome to the inner library. There are many towers here, just like the rest of Bakaran, but the styles of architecture are all so varying and different, as if they've been pulled from different places of the world. This person, as they are kind of speed walking down a kind of a main path that leads to what looks to be more of like the entrance to the actual libraries itself, they get to the front door and hold it open for you, giving the same whole like, this way, please come in. Just wait for a moment. We will go off to the left, kind of like speed around you, and take you into the library. This particular building in the library is very homey, and it's very spacious and very homey. Lots of these deep, dark brown wooden bookshelves that are lining straight down a corridor that runs kind of all the way down the length of the building. Up above is a white painted ceiling that is held up with the same dark arches. Very Trinity College library kind of vibes. They take you over to a staircase that brings you up to one of the upper levels, where there's a couple people that are milling around, but they seem to be doing so with purpose, moving books from kind of one location to another. There doesn't seem to be any evidence of, like, problems in this space. But the second that you arrive at one of the upper levels, it's just like a ray of light that just comes, like, punching through. And as you look up, seeing the pieces of ceiling kind of crumbling onto the floor, you can see the goer just kind of peeks over the hole and just crunch in its jaw, just looking at you through its, impossibly thick bangs. You see this person ahead of you just give a really heavy sigh, goes up to a very large, ornate door, opens it up and gestures for all of you to come inside. And inside is an office that is fitted out in a very similar way, the same kind of like white painted walls and ceilings with the dark wooden furniture. It's like the nice desk, a nice big chair with these ornate carvings on it, a whole bunch of bookshelves that are lining the walls, and a couple of windows that are looking a whole bunch of windows that are looking kind of like out into the city, but also kind of out into the library. And they gesture to a couple of seats that are around like a little coffee table kind of thing. And they gestures like, please make yourselves comfortable for a moment. I am so sorry about our guard, but thank you for your patience and for coming in. I know that this is a very quick turnaround, and I appreciate all of your expediency for getting here as quickly as you did, despite the little turnaround there. So, as you have been informed, we are having a bit of a Goer problem. They've been around, as they always are, but they came in droves last night during the storm, for whatever reason, and the Cricks have been nowhere in sight to take care of them. While we would love to be sending someone up onto the roofs to actually remove all of these creatures, we do not believe that would be the best course of action to take care of them. Instead, what I would ask of this group, is to figure out what is going on with the Cricks. We know that they tend to live under the city, in the canals under there. We don't know quite exactly where, but adventurers such as yourselves, I believe this is something that you are capable of doing, and I would greatly appreciate a quick and expedient investigation of the situation.
First, I must say, Callan, Employee of the Month, did his job. We get the library to ourselves.
I mean, he's still doing his job.
I think he's clocked out for the day.
Well, good for him.
He's
Half day on his part. But yes, so I'm sorry. Run that by me one more time. Exactly what you said about where you think the Cricks might be. Like we have to figure out where the Cricks have gone. You said
they
something
believe
about...
that they. So they elaborate a little bit more. It's like we believe that they live under the city, essentially. Because, of course, we have the canals that run from lock to lock. But there are some that run under the city as well, and those are the ones that create the beautiful waterfalls that are going over into the Salak. So we will give you the access that you need to get underground, to be able to find at least one of the nests of Cricks, and see if there is something wrong, something deeper that we need to investigate, or if there is something that you can eliminate that will solve the problem. Just so long as there is a solution, so that we can get some Cricks back in the sky.
I think we can handle that as our group. Just on one condition. I would love if we could just have one day of uninterrupted study. Just one full day in the library, no clerks coming over asking for things, etc. Nobody bothering us. I just want full access even to the reserve section, if you don't mind.
They crease their eyebrows for a second. And they shuffle over to their desk and, look over a sheet of paper. Was that not already in the contract? That you all have access to the library if you take care of this? I believe it's right here.
Yes, just making sure. Just making sure.
Yes. Well, my apologies. As we all have not met before, my name is Vera Lorstina.
Yarrow Samuelson. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Yarrow.
Yarrow.
Pleasure to meet you. May I ask the rest of your names, please?
I am Thurgy of Solcinder. Just Thurgy of Solcinder.
Hello, yes, I'm Professor Frederick Noltide, Professor of Paleontology and Zoology, visiting scholar here at the University of Baccaran. Big wink.
Oh, you're the animals guy. Oh,
I've seen the posters.
I've seen the posters. Oh my gosh, they're wonderful posters. You do such a great job with the drawings. You really capture his essence so wonderfully well. Thank God you are here, because if you can figure out what the hell is going on with these creatures, that would be absolutely impeccable.
Ben.
Nice to meet you, Ben. And yes, you are the professor's
I'm
student.
Wader. Student.
Yes, it is nice to see you again.
My star pupil.
I'm a cleric accompanying them.
Without a name?
It's Phasmith.
He's the devil's camel man.
And they just give you this look like, oh, but what the fuck are you doing?
He's the exterminator.
Ah, yes, that makes sense, I suppose. Look, okay. Introductions aside, we are all set. Okay, so first things first. A couple of things that you should know about the canals beneath the river. The canals beneath the city, excuse me. It has been quite a morning, as I'm sure you can understand. Getting all of these books shuffled around to make sure everything is safe before another storm blows through. There are several canals that run beneath the city. They are quite dangerous if you do not know how to navigate them well. There are paths that you can follow, and I assume you are all careful folk. So long as you do not slip and fall, you should be fine. However, if you do, there are gates that can catch you every 500 feet or so in the canals. However, I recommend avoiding that at all costs. To pass through the gates, and sort of as they remember, they kind of like finger up in the air and turn back to the desk, and they pull a small box that has a bunch of silver rings in it. And they hand it to Yarrow. And please take one of those, whichever fits. It doesn't really matter. This will help you. This will give you the permissions and the access that you need in order to pass through the gates to get to where you need to go. Are you all ready to go, or do you need anything before heading down?
I think we're ready.
Let's go!
Can we take a long rest? I don't think we need a long rest. Can we take a long rest? I'm just kidding. I
Hate.
Cows.
Especially
When?
The
Cows.
lactate.
On.
My
chickens.
But
when
The.
Sheep.
Eat.
beef.
Sometimes.
I
find
Myself.
Questioning.
God.